Europe holds its breath. In the spring of 1815, one name again shook the old world: Napoleon. From exile on Elba, he returned like a storm over France. The tricolor rose once more, and soldiers rallied to their emperor's call. For 100 days, Europe trembled. Old allies gathered to end the empire that had reshaped a continent. Then came Waterloo. Under a dark June sky, cannon smoke and rain erased the last dream of glory. Defeated, Napoleon surrendered to the British, not as a conqueror, but as a man seeking mercy from history. They sent him to St. Helena, a lonely rock in the South Atlantic, an emperor turned prisoner of the sea. Each day he walked the cliffs, gazing at a horizon that never changed. The wind became his only companion. He wrote endlessly, memoirs, reflections, fragments of war. In exile, his pen replaced his sword. The man who once ruled millions now ruled only memory. He shaped his defeat into legend. Visitors found him weary but unbroken. His voice still carried command, though his empire lived only in words. Illness crept upon him. By 1821, the great general faced his final campaign against time and pain. When death came, it was quiet. The sea that caged him carried whispers of his name across the world. France mourned. Even his foes paused, sensing the end of an age and the rise of a legend. In death, Napoleon gained what life denied: eternity. His story became Europe's mirror, reflecting both its triumph and terror. And so, long after the cannons fell silent, one truth endured: power fades, but legacy remains forever.